Hey, Shalom. Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Waha, Rachak Radash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakim, pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is Amathia from the GMS Dallas branch. And wanted to go into a quick lesson. Lord willing, this will be edifying to the elect of Israel. I wanted to go into this video here. It is from Scott Ritter. It says reveals Russia's revenge attack is coming. U.S. embassy was evacuated urgently. Now, a U.S. embassy is usually, or embassy itself is usually evacuated when it becomes an imminent danger. And now we see that with America providing the artillery or the missile capabilities for long range missiles. Now we're seeing that with the Biden administration only having 2 months left, they're actually allowing things to move forward and happening as far as shooting these, like I said, the artillery they provided. I believe it was like maybe about a year in 2023, they provided certain long range missiles to Ukraine, but now they have given the green light to utilize them because it was already said that if they utilize these particular military weapons, then Russia will go to say that it was actually America doing these things, and it's not just Ukraine fighting back, but it's America attacking with them. But this guy Scott Ritter should be able to break it down better than me. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it, then we'll get a few scriptures because as we're seeing, it's been going on. Matter of fact, what is that? Wars and rumors of wars, and you know what? I'm gonna get that before we start off here. You know, that's a good one to start off with because these are the things we're seeing. Because we're finna get to a point where it's finna be all out war. Because the MOTB is finna move forth as we seeing that this new administration with Trump that's coming in with Elon is part of his cabinet, along with now the transitioning that's gonna happen with the what is that with uh, Klaus, you know, with the Schwab and with Nouvelle Harari, if I'm saying his name correctly, he's finna transition to being the head of the WEF, all right, which is the Economic Forum of the world. And these things are transitioning to start, as you see, war. And not just war, it's going to be a transitioning from Slovakia, not just for war, but for the MOTB to transpire. These things are coming. All right. But like I said, these things are the war is expanding. More of the MOTB is getting ready to be because the foundation is laid out. All right. All these banks are closing because what they're getting ready to transition. But as that is occurring, as we're going to see that one of these final prophecy with Karakma, we're going to see the expansion of war. That's what world wars do. We saw that in history of World War One and World War Two, where it actually expands, and it don't just all start with all the countries coming at once, but it expands from different countries and different things happening, and different countries that are alliance with another join in as time passes, as war gets more brutal and it becomes widespread. But this is Matthew 24:6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are beginning of sorrows." And you have other parts of the world that are going through these sorrows. All right. And this is only the beginning. And it's just going to spread throughout the world. And it's going to definitely be the demise of this whore, which is Babylon the Great. All right, the mother of all harlots. All right, but we're gonna start right here and get this going. And Lord willing, like I said, this is edifying to the elect of Israel.
We know what the risks are because this is the second time we've gone through this scenario. The first time, of course, was in September when Joe Biden was ready to issue such authorization on September 13th.
And this is for fair use. Fair use. All right.
September 12th, the Russian President Vladimir Putin made it clear that if this were done, this would be interpreted by Russia as an act of war and would be responded in kind. On September 13th, the day Biden was going to sign off on this, he had a White House meeting with Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister. The Russian ambassador to the United Nations reiterated that if he signed that document, a declaration of war would have been signed. And this was backed up by the Russian ambassador to the United States, Anatoly Antonov, who spoke to several officials, former government officials, who called him at the behest of the Biden administration to find out were the Russians serious. Anatoly Antonov said not only were the Russians serious, but that when this went nuclear, notice what I said, when this went nuclear, the United States would be involved. So he said there will be a nuclear war and America will be part of it. It won't be limited to Europe. Biden wisely backed down. So we know exactly what's going to happen. The Russians have not changed their posture whatsoever. If Ukraine, let me make it as clear as possible. If Ukraine uses an ATACMS missile to strike a target inside Russia, that is in Kursk Oblast, Russia will say that that's an attack by the United States and will treat it accordingly. It will be a state of war between the United States and Russia. And from what I understand, I've been in contact with sources in Moscow. First of all, let me just say that the Russians aren't panicked. What the Russians are saying is that the decisions have already been made. Anybody who's looking for a convoy of vehicles running to the Kremlin to decide, the decision has been made. It is automatic. The moment the ATACMS is used, Russia will respond, and the response will be catastrophic for Ukraine and devastating for NATO and the United States. When I say catastrophic, Kiev will be destroyed. It won't be a nuclear weapon, but I've been told what the weapon probably will be, and it'll be a gigantic thermobaric bomb that will level downtown Kiev, killing everybody there. Russia will take Kiev off the map.
And that's what we're about to see. All right. As, like I say, things are going to continue to escalate because now we're seeing, as we just read, it's going to be wars and rumors of wars. All right. All these things now are coming to pass. Now these proxy wars, different trade wars, still going to be trade wars, but now you got what? Not just the proxies, but you have like the main military might or the military countries. All right. They're finna come into conflict face to face with one another. All right. The superpowers of the world. Okay. You have Russia and America, and America spearheads what? NATO. Okay. And their alliance with these other countries. But then you have Russia that spearheads what? The BRICS nations. And they're still young in status, or for them coming together. But this is ultimately the Lord is having these alliances form, and then you're gonna have a division within the NATO and EU because that goes into Revelation 17, all right, where they're gonna hate the whore. But before that, we're gonna see the destruction and the escalation of these different, different nations. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go into Revelation 18, it say they are drunk in the wine of Babylon, okay? And it's going to wax. And they're going to basically reward her and double unto her. But it all starts with, what is that? Matter of fact, I'm going to get it. And I had two scriptures, but, sometimes it comes to mind. I'm going to go ahead and pull this. All right. This is, let me look here. Ezekiel. His name is Ezekiel. All right, but And as you heard what he said, that they're gonna wipe Kiev off the map, which is what the when I was taking the capital of Ukraine. And they have joined league with America, and now they're utilizing certain military force that Russia already warned. If you really want to get down to per, per destruction or power of what we have in our artillery, then we can do that, because Russia really hasn't gave all it. Because one thing you have is they don't want to show their true might or their main artillery or main weaponry, because they're not fighting a superpower. But if a superpower is intervening, now they're saying we're going to attack you like you're an extension of this superpower, which is America. Now we're going to go and come at you hard because you're trying to come at us with certain military artillery that America has provided you. And that's going to bring America and Russia closer to a direct war. All right. And this is that old spirit of who? Of this is that old spirit of the USSR spirit. All right, and I'm gonna start right here. It says, verse 2, Ezekiel 38:2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right, and Gog is what? Going into what? The land of Russia, which is what this is going into. All right. All right, the land of Magog, it's the land. All right, the chief prince of Tubal, Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. And if you think of what makes me think is what's the Russia's animal, what is their mascot? I would say a mascot is what, that bear. So think of that bear being a vicious, ferocious bear back in the time of the USSR days, and he became and stepped back, and now the Lord is putting them hooks back in their bear jaws and pulling it back around. And when you put a hook in somebody, some animal jaws or anything, and pull them around, it's going to make them what? Make them become back to what, that ferocious state again. And that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is doing. All right, that is what the Lord is doing. All right. And verse 4 again, it says, And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields and all the handling swords. All right. So that is what he's doing. He's setting them up and turning them all back around. And when you keep reading, it's going to go into what? Him being what? A band, coming in together to be a guard unto all these different nations. All right, so that's what we're starting to see. And like I said, now that ferocious beast saying that a NATO is attacking, well, they're using military might from the powers that be. All right, as far as the superpowers of the world. And now I got to treat you like you're a superpower because you're an extension of one of the superpowers is what our enemy, which is America. And you got to think, these are all Edomites, all right? These are Edomite countries, man. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, all right?
I know this. The CIA knows this. Biden knows this. Zelensky knows this. The thing is, they think Russia's bluffing. They don't think Russia will do it. It's not a gamble I'm willing to take, because it's not just gambling away the lives, millions of lives in Kiev, but it's gambling away all of humanity. If the West is wrong and Russia's not bluffing, there will be a war, and that war will be nuclear. And
see, that war will be nuclear. And it's up to the Lord that's going to set that up. All right. It's up to the Lord that's going to set that up when it's time. And we know through prophecy that it's gonna be time where it's gonna actually happen. And call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for that. All right. Matter of fact, before I get that, I want to get all right. This is Revelations 11. All right, and I'm gonna go down here. Bear with me. I thought I had this. Where's the? Oh, you know what the hell? I'm gonna go down like this. How about that? Look at that. It's lucky. All right, so Revelation 11 and verse 14. All right. I'll just get to the point. All right. What did it say? The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. And you see it in the NLT, it says the second terror is past, but look, the third terror cometh quickly. All right, and those woes is going into the world wars, because when you go into those woes, it's a woe meaning destruction, and we see that the major scales of things or major events that happen in the world, because that's what the Lord is dealing with. He's dealing with the events that has happened in the world, those terrible destructive events. All right. Have you had and these events is going to lead up to what? All right, that second death, which is going into the nuclear destruction. Like you said, that this is going to happen because it's in the Lord's hand. All right. This is Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe is coming. You might well put war there. All right. The third war coming quickly. And what is this third war? It's going to be what? Let me see if I can come back like that. Let me see. This war, as it says in the scriptures, all right. This is Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle, right, of the warrior is with confused noise. Because when you have those wars that's happening, you have a lot of, back in the day, if you look at World War I, you have them walking, shooting them, I believe, what the musket guns then, or the World War II. I think the World War One had the musket gun. They walk right up to the line and they start shooting each other. Next thing you know, they pull out these swords, they run, charge at each other, and all that screaming and things like that. All right. It's always with confused noise. All right. And it says, and garments rolled in blood, because it was a lot of just man to man combat. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. All right. This one will be with burning and fuel of fire. Now, what's going to cause that? Missiles, all right? Drone attacks, all right? Nuclear weapons, all these things. This is going to happen, and it's going to cause a burning and fuel of fire. And that's going to cause purification into this world and set up for what? As we read in the next verse, there's going to be a government that's going to be established on this earth. All right. It's not going to be Russia's turn. It's not going to be China's turn. It's not going to be no more alliances to these Edomite nations along with these other heathen nations. It's going to be set up a kingdom for the nation of Israel. And all this is setting up to show that this management that was established on this earth that the Lord gave to Esau Edom to run, he has effed it up. So this got to be done here. It's Isaiah 96, for unto us a child is born. Who is that child? Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. And that government is going to be established when Yahweh Shai comes, and he's going to be set up on the throne, the throne of King David. All right. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Everlasting. Remember that. It's not going to be a government that's going to be over a period of time. This is going to be a government that is going to be established here on earth that's going to reign forever and ever. All right. Verse 7. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, and the increase of his government and peace. When you see Esau's ruling the world, death and hell is happening, and it's constantly death and destruction grows and increases here. All right, because he's a harbinger of death. But when the righteous, like it says in Sirach, all right. I'm sorry. Proverbs. All right, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. All right. And I want to say that's what is that? Proverbs 29. Um, yeah. That's Proverbs 29. Now, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And the people are mourning here. Shit, you can't buy a sandwich without spending $50 here in America. All right. People getting laid off left and right. All you scared to you can't walk out your door uh, without looking both ways. You can't shit. When you walk in your door, you gotta lock it. Make sure you lock it when you walk in. All right. You can't have a family here. You know, because your kid might end up being, they're people that's supposed to be raising them at school, teachers and counselors. They tell you to be what you want to be. You can be wherever you want to be. Raekwon, you want to be a little girl, you want to be a little boy, you want to be both. You want to be a tree, a lizard. We don't give a damn. You got the right to do so, and your parents can't do nothing about it. That is not uplifting. That is not peace. All right, that's not an increase in life. That's a decrease in life. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. It says, verse 7: of the increase of his government and of his government and peace there should be no end, and upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it and to establish it with judgment. Because there's no judgment here, no righteous judgment here in the Babylon. There's no righteous judgment here on this planet Earth because it's ran by the wicked. All right, and with justice from henceforth ever, even ever. I mean, henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this, and the Lord is performing it. He's doing this mighty work upon the earth. It is time for the Lord to do work. All right, that's Psalms 119, Psalms verse 126. And the Lord is performing this mighty work. Now we're about to see Alishaya. And like I said, it's going to start off, and he's setting up for what? World War III. If this transpire, he's going to set up for that MOT to the B. And we see that's being established on earth as well. All right.
We will all die.
You hear that? But the elect is going to live.
All right? Is the
so I just wanted to bring that out. So with this, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'd like to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waha, Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to Yah